Just hearing you fucking cough and giggle to yourself.
I didn't cough. I was giggling though.
All right, we're not going to broadcast our voices, so it's talking. I'm going to go live in a second. Are you all ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I was laughing at the $2 billion that short seller lost on the GameStop stock again. Like, that shit's going again?
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard, but yeah.
And I'm just about to hear it right now.
Fucking stupid. All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to... I am an idiot. Oh my God. Hello and welcome to the Esports Meta. I'm a bit of an idiot because it's a Tuesdays, but Tuesdays are for Esports Meta, and that's where we're at. I'm Billy Sims, here with you to bring you all the best esports news from the last week. It's been a bumpy week, a roller coaster of highs and lows in personal life and in esport life, but you know, we're here, we're ready to go, and it's not just me ready to bring you all the action, all the news, and the exciting stories. It's also my co-host, Nicholas Layton. Let's get him in on here. Nick, can I hear you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on?
Whole lot of stuff, whole lot of nothing, but we've got a bunch to talk about across the board, and very specifically with League of Legends. MSI had a big week, and that's going to be our main story today. I know you're ready and loaded to go on that one.
Yeah, quite excited to talk about it. I had a really good time. It was a really good event so far. So it's still continuing. We still have the rest of the week, but it's one of my favorite events in the last 2 years. Easily. It's super fun games.
I mean, I'm not a big League of Legends player. I'm not a big League of Legends watcher, but these games have captivated me. I've been able to jump in and keep my attention there for a bit too. So that's got to be saying something. But before we get into League of Legends MSI madness, we're going to be talking about a couple other things. First and foremost, Apex Legends announced the entire lifetime revenue for the game. And you might be surprised at what it is and what it means. We'll be talking about that one first, and then second, we're going over an updated ban list with Magic the Gathering. It's going to be a brief story, but it's definitely some feathers ruffled, and personally, I think our co-host Nick here he's been ruffling those feathers specifically, but that's a story for later. We'll get into that in just a moment. Before we jump into our first topic, though, Nick, anything you want to add as we enter this week of esports?
No, I think everything's been coming out great. Like, a lot of esports popping up. A lot of tournaments are starting, and we're about to hit summer, and summer's like a little bit of a lull. So right now, everybody's kind of like going crazy, like balling out with like the last bunch of tournaments that are coming. So it's pretty fun. Yeah,
this is a great time for esports, and we'll be seeing a lot. And I'm not too sure how much of a downspan we're going to see for this summer, because I know we were talking about the Esports World Cup happening this summer. So that might be able to pick up the general low we see in between school seasons, in between a lot of different things. But you know, we'll keep that coverage going in a couple months. But for now, let's get to our stories today. And our first story, like I kind of already said, is that EA revealed how much Apex Legends has made in revenue for its lifespan. I'm going to bring that story up right here, right now. Pretty straightforward. They're talking Turkey. They're talking dollars and cents. How much money have they made? Let me change the ratio here so it's a little easier to see. There we go. All right. And this is kind of, I don't want to say unprecedented, but this is kind of a big deal. And the highlights on this article, so cordially laid out for us by Game Rant. Apex Legends has earned EA $3.4 billion with a B billion dollars over its lifespan. Is this a shock? Just straight up, Nick, is this a shock?
No, man. People spend too much money on these shooters, but these free games, people spend like their like 5 years worth of salary goes into some of these games, man. Like with the amount of active players on this game, this is a whale game. Like if it was like a mobile game, it'd be like a whale game. There's no other way to come up with 3.4 billion lifetime net like that. Like that's a crazy number.
Right. And like what? I think Apex is about 4 or 5 years old. I think maybe 5 or 6 actually total. So over the course of 5 years, roughly, they've made $3 billion. Like that's a pretty solid margin.
Yeah, no, that's it's pretty crazy. It was released February 4th, 2019, by the way.
All right, I was about to say 2009. That's like League of Legends status.
Yeah, no, that 2009 is leaked, but 2019, man. Like, so it's not that old overall. Like 6 years, almost 7.
Right. It's not that old of a title, but it is a pretty active title, and I wonder how much too, if this is like actually like revenue versus cost, or this is like the total amount of money they like put in. Cause that's a thing they like to mess with, is they'll tell you gross, but they won't tell you revenue, like actual profit. From overall though, my first take of this, obviously that's a big number over the course of 5 years, 2024, right? That's the year. Okay. And it came out in 2019. So we're talking about 5-6 years old. They're averaging just under 1 billion a year, maybe 0.75 billion, 750 million a year. It's from a previous IP of Titanfall. So it had been, but it was a kind of a shock that they go into the Battle Royale genre when this came out. But the seasonal model is showing profitable and is showing no signs of slowing down. And I think that's my biggest first take with this is we are seeing how developers are being incentivized for this. And I do feel like EA is, well, I shouldn't say EA is kind of scummy when it comes to the free to play players and the freemium sort of market of stuff where you can just cite.
Hold on.
Okay, go on.
This. They give away the most amount of games. They don't do that PSN, Xbox nonsense where you can play it as long as you have the subscription. They legitimately just give you games every week. I'll just say that. So if you want to play good games for free, you can get them on the EA thing. But that's enough. Let's talk crap about these guys because I no chill. All right.
No chill. No chill.
Chill now. No. Go ahead. I just wanted to state that. I love that about EA. Just so we're clear, how many games they give out. I have all of them. I play a good amount of them. They're sick.
That's something I didn't totally realize. But I think it kind of goes along with this story, and I think it goes a little bit hand in hand because we're seeing that from this one title from the season pass that happens every 6, 8, 10 weeks roughly. They've made $3.4 billion lifetime. So it is profitable. It is working. They've had flops. Like, do you remember that exoskeleton robot? It wasn't Anthem. Was it Anthem? Game that EA did, and they tried to do it.
Yeah. The Iron Man's.
Yeah.
Iron Man's was Anthem. That game looked awesome, and it was super fun flying in the beginning, and then
it was content, man. They failed on content. They failed on endgame, and then just so like EA isn't bulletproof when it comes to this stuff. They know what they're doing. But they definitely seem to prioritize profit in a lot of these. And maybe that's the strategy they have with giving the games away to people for free. It's incentivizing them to come into the system so that then they're hooked into like a Titanfall. They feel good. Not Titanfall. Titanfall's the previous games. Apex Legends. They're incentivized to play Apex Legends, and then they're like, okay, let me put $20 into. Because I'm sure too the 3.4 billion isn't from somebody dropping 20K. You might have one whale and they might cover a good amount of salary or profit, but it's got to be a lot of individual efforts and little skins here and there, as well as battle pass stuff. Is $20 adds up quickly.
It does, but just speaking off the numbers, this game's only generated I say only, right? It's real disrespectful to $3 billion to say only. They've only generated $3 billion over the 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite has made over $20 billion over its lifetime. Okay, just so we're clear. So if we were to look at these two numbers, one of them is a predator, and the other one's just a bunch of adults having a good time, is what it looks like. It's like just so we're clear. One's a predator, and the other one is just like, but 20 to 30-year-olds just going like, yeah, I can spend a paycheck or two. Let's do this. And they're just buying whatever skins they want for their gory game, right? Even though it's not really gory, but
yeah.
Compared to Fortnite, I get like it would be, right?
Right.
But that's like it's pretty wild, like the discrepancy between the two. But I do want to just point out, like I do like the player base is older, and it's less like they're preying on the younger crowd. Like the younger crowd, other people pay for that. Parents pay for it, stuff like that. So I do appreciate that it's not like, it doesn't seem to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Predatory, right? Like you have to get this. You have to get this because they do have like the things come back and stuff like that. But
yeah, Apex does a pretty good job of like bringing stuff back so people have a chance to earn it and stuff compared to other games, other battle passes, other seasonal things. But they do definitely, as do most of the battle pass systems, they do prey on FOMO a lot. And like that has its impact on the general player base, which then in turn impacts esports and competitiveness or your ranked play, let alone an esports league. It is nice to see that there's $3.4 billion. They did clarify here that it's in net bookings from the quarterly report, which is a different metric from outright revenue. It's not just the money they've gained in profit. It might be more of a specific gross income across the board, which is still nothing to shy away from. It's still a large, substantial money. A large substance of money, but the way I'm seeing this too right now is I get concerned about the red flags of companies. EA is a little sketchy with loot boxes. We have shown bad practices in the past. Apex has felt pretty good. The developers have been fairly transparent when it comes to their systems and whatnot. Here, they're using their net bookings, $3.4 billion quarterly profit call to excite shareholders. And then the big news after that is it's going to continue investment into it, which always is a good sign. Obviously, we have to take them for their word here, but it means then they're going to continue with the esport. They're going to continue with the game. They're going to continue with seasons as we currently see it.
Yeah, no, this game is lucrative and it's got a nice following. The games are also fun to just watch, just in general. As far as like shooters are concerned, it's this could just be me like dating myself with like age, but it's definitely more fun than like a Fortnite tournament to watch. Like it feels more tactical. It feels more like a shooter rather than like a builder. So it's a lot more fun that way. But like, Fortnite has like a weirder events that happen, but it's definitely more engaging for the regular public as far as that's concerned. But I really hope they like branch out with the thing that they built, because they have like a really good engine. Like the Titanfall 2 engine has made Apex amazing. It's phenomenal engine. The game is smooth. The weapons are great. It doesn't feel weird when you shoot weapons. Like there's no sporadic spray like in some other games. Like Valorant had some problems with it. Call of Duty always has problems with it. Rainbow Six has problems with that, where like just the shooting accuracy and stuff like that. Fortnite has the same problems. Their game is super solid, super smooth, and I really, really do hope that they realize that like, sure, Battle Royale's great and everybody loves it, but like, Call of Duties were out before the Battle Royale and people will buy new Call of Duties and stuff like that. So like, give me an Apex game that is more of like an arena shooter with like the same style, just with, smaller amounts of teams, maybe like more of like a big team battle type situation from Halo or something. And I think that they could rock it. They could start taking like over.
And with that, I kind of wanted to just tag in and say that, unlike other games, they have compelling story in it. People want to know more what's going on. They don't want just like a number change on the gun. They want a little bit of lore. And the characters have all these backstories and intricate like interactions in game that really just, I want to see them basically do what Riot did with Arcane and League of Legends characters. I want to see them maybe do what kind of Blizzard's trying to do with WoW and Overwatch. These characters are unique. They are compelling, and they create an engaging experience for other players. And it allows them to sell skins, but it's going to allow them to diversify the experience so much further. Give me an anime, give me another game, a tactical team arena, like a Valorant clone. Who cares? Just like give me that. Give me an RTS. Apparently we're going back into RTSs, man. Like I would love to see them give this the full Riot treatment and really just like diversify the IP into so much more than just this battle royale.
Yeah, no, it'd definitely be great. Like a lot for those who don't know, Riot's game studio, and they've partnered with a bunch of other game studios that have produced some really solid games. Like Mage Seeker is super fun. The new one, Willem, right? That's his name. I can never say that kid's name. That game was fun. They even did like old like fun things that were like one-offs and everything like that. Back in the day, they did like a Blitzcrank crane game for a little bit. That was like an April Fool's kind of thing. That was still like pretty fun, and you played it for like prizes and stuff. But these games that they're producing are super fun off the IP, and Apex does have those characters. They're super just interesting, and like one of them is just like a talking assassin robot, right? That's like related to one of the other characters. Like the stuff gets like real crazy. But like how things are, it's like almost Borderlands-ish, but like not. It's like the most serious version of Borderlands, and we're keeping it PG when we talk to people. Like that's what this game is, but we blow them up. It's like it's real cool. So.
Yeah, completely. And I think we're both in agreement there as far as the lore and the engagement of those characters and that IP. $3.4 billion in revenue, be it gross or be it net. It matters, but it really doesn't matter for us as the gamers, as competitive gamers. It just means there's a lot of interest. People are putting a lot of money in it, and that the company is seeing that demand and is going to want to continue creating that. It makes everybody win. But yeah. I think that's as much as we really need to talk about with that topic there and that subject. Unless any final notes with that, Nick?
No, just if you haven't played Apex yet, but you're a fan of shooters, just try it out. It's a really solid game. Even if you have like one or two buddies, you're gonna really enjoy playing the games, even if you're like losing. You have a lot more entertainment compared to like other battle royales, as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't feel as punishing, like when you like early on and stuff like that. When you like land, it feels a lot more skill focused rather than like luck focused. But even then, it's still like luck focused because it's battle royale, right?
Oh, that's a great point, because it is easy to pick up. There's a low skill floor, but there's a high skill ceiling. There's some people who can do some crazy things. I showed some clips to Nick from It's Timmy, and that dude is nutty when it comes to playing Apex. So if you're interested in shooters, if you want to just dab your foot in the water, just very briefly about it, check it out. It's very easy to pick up, very easy to find people to play with, enjoy your time, or to watch. You can watch any sort of esport competition of Apex and know what's going on pretty easily. They just finished their playoffs, so we should be seeing some finals and updates coming up from them soon. But all in all, great esport, great game. Love to see more of it. Love to see them develop further. Let's move on to another great topic, though. You good for it, Nick?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, perfect. We'll be talking about the next subject here, and it's Magic the Gathering. They've recently updated their ban list. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, and lo and behold, we're kind of surprised by this one. We didn't really expect it to be this sudden of an update, but it's a very short update and it's a very specific update. I'm going to bring it up on screen real quick here, Nick, and I want you to kind of talk us through it a little bit.
All right. So basically, Wizards of the Coast went over their ban and restricted announcement, right? And it only affected one thing for the most part. You can see all the glitters is banned in Pauper, but we don't care about Pauper. It
Not
doesn't
a lot
really
of people
matter.
play Pauper.
No, Pauper's super played.
Pauper's
Pauper's
popping?
crazy. Pauper's popping, bro.
Pauper's popping,
it's
okay.
Common. It's all commons. So like as things get reprinted, they get less their rarity usually like goes down a little bit.
Okay.
For certain cards. So old school like rares get printed into like commons, and so you get things that are like pretty crazy in commons.
Okay.
That you can do some fun stuff. In my opinion, in the next like 3 years, it could be the best format as far as like quality is concerned, like overall balance and stuff like that, and overall fun and how expensive it is.
Yeah, it sounds pretty it sounds pretty accessible, and I know Commander. That's all I'm hearing about across my feed is about Commander as being the accessible and fun format. But from what you're saying,
fun. Everybody who says Commander is fun is a bunch of liars. Just to say that in general, you won't have fun playing Commander. Like I'm just letting you on. You play Tech 4.
Me specifically.
You specifically will not like Commander because it's not a fun format to anyone who knew Type 4. You play Type 4, you're going to play Commander, and you're going to go like, this is dumb. This is so dumb that we have 5 people sitting at the table, and we're just waiting and doing boring things, or people complain. Like, there's power levels to it. And
But ultimately, like we talk about this, we'll probably talk about this in a second. People love their intricate combo decks. They're like, they want their Goldberg machines, right? Rube Goldberg is a thing. They want their Rube Goldberg decks to work, and they want to just play the game by themselves, like a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. But anyway, okay, I hear you on Commander.
Anyway, let's go.
Pauper is popping, and I'll keep an eye out for it. They've changed all that glitters from there, but that's not really the focus because that's like minor pickings compared.
Anyway. That card's broken anyway. Should be banned in Pauper.
Minor pickings. The only other change here is in Legacy and Vintage, which is...
Yes, that's it. Nothing else gets affected right now. And nothing else gets affected right now. We have another ban announcement that's going to be I think it's like June 8th. It's very close. It's within less than a month because we have Modern Horizons 3 coming out. And the last 2 sets of Modern Horizons 1, Modern Horizons 2, basically just break formats. They put in like crazy, stupid cards, and it breaks formats. But let's get to this ban list, right? So for this one,
well, real quick, I'm just like looking at that. They have got like 2 sentences here for Pauper. Just it's banned, and they say, "Hey, the next one's coming up in June, right?"
June
but then we go to Legacy and Vintage, and it's like a fucking pamphlet. It's a whole thing. What's going on here, Nick?
It's because somebody on their team is mad about the mechanics that they released. They released 2 mechanics in the set Unfinity. Sorry, I got like stuffy nose and all that. So they released Unfinity set, right? And usually usually they make everything legal for older formats and Commander, right? Because this is what like a lot of people play. This is where you buy your cards. You want to be able to use them in some format, right? They made wacky cards. Some cards aren't usable, like a good portion of them. Some of them are usable, but really aren't like wacky. Like they're wacky because of what the card might look like, but the way it works and how it interacts with older Magic the Gathering cards isn't crazy. Then they have these things called stickers and attractions, right? So they're like a new way to play with the game immediately. And this is why I think this is like a squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing, is because before stickers ever came out, people were like, I'm not putting stickers in my cards. I'm not doing it. This is stupid. The sticker mechanics, for the most part, it could just be like a dice roll. It's unimportant really about the stickers. The mechanic itself and how we use the mechanic is like what they're really complaining about. And so
Okay.
for attractions and stickers, you have decks before the game starts. You have an attraction deck, or you have your sticker deck. Stickers, you only get like 3 per for the match, and it doesn't work like this online, but that's beside the point. You only get 3, and these name stickers, if you want to look at the name sticker card real quick, name
Sure.
sticker is blank goblin. And that's because if you mouse over it, I think it'll show it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So when it enters the battlefield, the trigger goes onto the stack. You get to add a sticker to it. And for the most part, it's either going to give you, people know this as, it's going to give you 3 red mana or 4, 5, or 6. Those are the only options for it.
So
Because-
yeah, can I read?
There.
Can I read this card real quick? Okay, blank goblin, sticker goblin, 2, 1 red. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may put a name sticker on it. Add 1 red mana for each unique vowel on that sticker. Then it does a little grammar lesson in saying the vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and Y.
Yes. So again, it's really only for like 3 to 6 mana, just in general. This card is the only sticker card that is used. Every other card, it doesn't matter. You can scroll up and look at all of them. This card matters. That's it. And it's because
How many did they?
Oh,
Do you know how many they made total? Then, like, not just of like a single goblin, but like of all the stickers, and like there's literally only one that was in like being played in the meta.
Yeah, that's it. This is the only one that was like relevant. That's it. You can scroll up a little bit, and then it'll ask you to click here. It actually just does a drop down box for the most part. Go up a little bit more.
Oh, that wasn't it. Okay, you're just trying to clickbait me here.
Right there.
Okay, here's a list of all the sticker cards.
Yeah, that's a list of all the cards. Doesn't matter. It's sticker goblin. That's it. It's the only one that matters. The other ones are fun and like it's fine, but essentially what they did was they just took away the interaction from players before the game starts at tournaments because they didn't like the way their mechanic worked. And this could be due to the fact that some people could be playing goblins and have stickers, and it'll let you know game 1 before you even play the game that person is playing stickers. Or you could be like me and have a sticker deck and play Reanimator just to have stickers and make people think you play goblins on game 1. It's not a nice thing to do. It was legal, but like
So like, okay. Speak to me like I'm an idiot because I am kind of an idiot when it comes to Magic the Gathering. My rules lawyer brain doesn't work so good here. So basically the biggest reason you play sticker goblin is to deceive your opponent initially about what type of deck you're playing. You'll tell them initially, like you have to tell them, hey, I've got stickers and I've got sticker goblin. Here it is. And so they think you're going to play goblin.
You don't have to tell them you have sticker goblin. So this is the thing about stickers is that you had to have the sticker deck and choose your stickers before the game starts. The only card that is stickers that's played is sticker goblin. So because of the fact that everybody knows, it's an inferred thing that you are playing goblins because you have stickers. Now anybody could have just had a sticker deck. You didn't have to have stickers in your deck. So I don't know if they're avoiding a situation like I did this a couple times at locals because it's funny to do it to people, but it's like locals, right? It's not a big tournament. But with that being said, like it literally only took out 1 card. The attractions really didn't matter. So really it just took away like random situations. And it just seems like they were just unsatisfied with the mechanic that they made. So they wanted to get them out. These aren't like, it doesn't seem like a real banning, but it does take away 7 to 8% of the meta as far as like legacy is concerned, because there was a lot of different variants of like a goblin sticker deck on like certain cards here, certain cards there, but there was like a good 12 or 15 that were being played all together with, some flavor. Whatever your flavor was, you would have a different version of it. And so it took out about 7% of the meta. And these decks are like good, but they have a lot of variance to them. They show better results online because sticker goblin is just better online. because one, online, the MTGO has a lot of spaghetti. It's an old game. It's from like 1993. Okay. And it's still kicking with all the new cards. Right. I'm not even joking. Like the game has
It's
been
not
around.
the Space Jam website, man. It's not the Space Jam website.
It is super old and the spaghetti is there. They could not put in Sticker Goblin onto the online. So they made a new Sticker Goblin called Name Sticker Goblin. All right. He's called Name Sticker Goblin. You don't put any stickers on him. So one, you don't have to tell your opponent that you have any stickers because that's not how they work online. You just roll a dice. That's the exact way that it works. Is
Gotcha.
You roll the dice and you get a certain amount of mana. If you get 15 to 20 on the dice, on the 20 sided dice roll, you get 6 mana. That's how it works. So it's more consistent online. It's a little bit more powerful online. So this deck does see a good amount of wins and 5-0 wins at that, right? Like they do really well in some of these leagues. But again, in paper, it's different. And so they could be banning it because of those two different things, but the deck can be strong or not be strong. The variance is there to either hold it back or set it, ablaze and like go crazy with it. But
quickly, the blurb here, the way they're describing it in the second paragraph, the primary goal behind making some cards in Infinity legal was that sticker cards and attractions could be played in Commander. So here again, Commander's kind of coming up. But there's no existing way to make a bunch of cards legal in Commander and not in Legacy. We thought
that is the stupidest sentence that they could possibly write into paper. Like to actually put that out there, we're looking at a banned and restricted list right now. And this fucking moron who wrote this, and I will call him a fucking moron, is literally saying, we have absolutely no idea how to just stop cards from being played in Legacy once we release them. This is the stupidest fucking sentence ever to be written about this. It's on a banned and restricted notice.
It's banned and restricted list. You're right. Yeah.
It's absolutely, I don't know if it's fucking stupid. Like, absolutely stupid. We go ahead. It set me off when I first read it.
It goes on to say, we had thought the power level of those cards was low enough that people tried them in Legacy every now and then, and it'd be a fun surprise. They missed on Sticker Goblin though, and now tournament players feel obligated to interact with the sticker mechanic. Apparently the sticker mechanic is super powerful in Legacy or in Commander.
It's good. Like it's good.
It's
pretty powerful. If so in paper, just to give you a heads up, right? They have 10 cards that are built into a deck. One of them is a 6 and one of them is a 3.
Okay.
The rest of them are basically like 4s. So the average you're going to get is 4 mana with a Sticker Goblin. You're not like but you know which ones you have. So if you have a 3, a 4, and a 6, you know that you can do it. And there's 2 cards that really make this deck and card a problem. It's one of them is called Muxus. He's a 6 mana goblin that basically looks at the top cards of your library, and if you have goblins there, you put them onto the field. They got haste. So like basically you just brick out a bunch of goblins, kind of what goblins does normally. But if you hit this crazy variance of having a 6, it's literally a 1 in 10 shot in paper. It is not that way online, right? It's a 15 to a 20. So it's a 25% chance online that you hit the 6 mana. And this is where, like, I think this is where a lot of the data comes from when they do these bans, because a lot of the data is cultivated online, with the APKs and with the APIs and stuff like that. And then another one is a 2 mana goblin.
Well, hold on. Before we go into that, wouldn't they also be using like deck metas and player sentiment? Like last week or 2 weeks ago, we were just looking at the Thunder Junction standard, and we could see the decks that are being played and the card lists in each deck. Wouldn't they have access to that same information too, to like base on the win-loss rates of these things? Let alone then the squeaky wheels complaining on Twitter about, oh, this card's so broken. Like, wouldn't that just be equally as powerful of a tool, not just the digital online API?
Yeah, yes, but again, it's only 7% of the meta. If you think about like overall decks, like there's here. All right, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick because like I have way too much data on this nonsense.
Well, talk me through it as you're pulling it up. Talk me through it as you're pulling it up.
So there's other decks and other cards that are in the Legacy format that are actually considerable problems, right? Like one of the biggest problems that people have is going to be Orcish Bowmaster. It's a card that came out. It's a 1/1. It deals 1 damage to something. It makes a creature.
And wasn't that a card that was banned in it wasn't Legacy, but it was Standard last time we talked about this a couple of weeks ago?
Modern.
It was Modern. Okay. Modern format.
Never Standard legal. It's a relatively powerful card.
Okay.
It is not, as far as I'm concerned in Legacy, it's not a bannable card.
Okay.
But currently, it is 45% of decks run Orcish Bowmaster.
That's a huge percentage.
That's a huge amount. It does not mean that Orcish Bowmaster is the problem, because if Orcish Bowmaster isn't there, would they slot in another card that's pretty good into a 2 slot for it? Most likely. Usually what happens is that there's something holding these decks together that are all being played together. So in Legacy, you have the blue version of the blue cards that are always played together. It's like Ponder, Brainstorm, Force of Will, Daze. That's about 20 cards that are just there every time you play blue, right? Black, I said this last time when we talked about it, Black has the exact same thing, except for the fact that it has Orcish Bowmaster, Grief, Reanimate, Animate Dead, a lot of these like powerful cards. But the big standout is that a lot of the decks that are just additional to using Bowmaster are coming together because they're Grief Reanimate decks or like stuff like that.
These are okay. It's not the linchpin. Like the Orcish Bowmaster is just the tool, the tip of the spear for the thing, and it might be the one that's causing the damage, but it's not enabling the play.
Yeah, and I also think that a lot of people aren't switching the meta, switching their decks to like fight Bowmaster. They literally are like, no, but you can only, a counter to a Bowmaster is another Bowmaster. And I'm like, that seems like you just refuse to play.
They want to go with the mirror match.
Yeah, like you're just like, no, like you just overestimate how valuable the card is. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So
always
ultimately, bringing this back to today's ban with Sticker Goblin, 2 points. A, is it just player sentiment being wrong and like not really adjusting accordingly, or not having the information to adjust accordingly, where they're chasing the wrong thing? Or is like Sticker Goblin something that Magic and Wizards are like looking at this and banning it with purpose because they really strongly feel like this is the problem?
So this is what I was gonna say. So these guys get they're a 7% deck, right? Meta share deck, and they get hit with a ban that takes them out of the format. It's not Muxus or the other card that's really like holding these goblin decks together. Like, I mean, the Sticker Goblin is holding them together, but the thing that's making them really over the top powerful would be one of these 2 cards for the most part. That creates this crazy variance. There's other decks in Legacy, right? That'll give you an example. There's the one that I talked about, which would be Blue-Black Reanimator or Blue-Black Scam. Whatever version you want to run, they essentially run the same cards that I was just talking about, right?
We were talking about this within the last month, those decks. Yeah.
They're 15% of the Legacy meta. Okay?
Double what Sticker Goblin is.
Double what Sticker Goblin is, but again, these decks run Orcish Bowmaster, Grief Reanimate, right? So they have a non-mirror win rate of 55%. That's kind of crazy.
That's pretty dominant, yeah. And then when they play the mirror, do you have a stat for when they play the mirror?
So when they play, let me see. No, I don't have the.
Okay.
50, let's see. Let me see. So the competitor event showcase. Deck has so I don't have that one specifically. And again, Grief is not really a target for them. They really don't want to ban it, but these decks are all running it. They all like the other deck that we just got rid of for the most part. That's been around, like it's always around. It's called Delver. It used to have 20-something% of the meta share. Okay, 20-something% of the meta share. And they banned 1 card out of it, and the deck is still here. It wasn't the Lich Pin. It was just something else and then those decks adopted Orcish Bowmaster. So now kind of got an even better card almost and they're still here. They're still kicking around. They get rid of these goblin guys.
Well, yeah. Does that make that like then become that 55% share deck, basically that one change?
Yeah, so they join the almost 50%, but then they were already in a group of people that were Brainstorm and Force of Will are already up in the 40s as
Okay.
far as played. Like 40% of decks run Force of Will in the thing because it stops you from just dying once, right? It's a bad card stopping a good thing most of the time. But they're not targeting these cards. So hopefully we see some ban next month, but it's most likely going to be
Right.
Modern Horizons cards that they're going to ban that they know are too overpowered to print out right now. And they're just going to release them and then just ban them.
Okay, so to wrap a little bow on this one, because we do got to move on to our other story. With this, it seems like this is not the first time we've talked about this, but it feels like they're banning the wrong card. And we're saying that from our point of view, they're banning the wrong cards. But from their point of view, they think they're doing something right, doing something appropriate, and doing something where it's what the players want. To wrap a bow on this, my direct question, are they just fishing? Are they fishing for player sentiment? Are they fishing for that card that's going to have people lose interest or gain interest in certain decks? Because that's what it really feels like from my perspective as an outsider, not really playing the game.
Player sentiment. There's like this is a common theme in like a lot of video games and board games and card games and stuff. Sometimes players don't like playing the game. They just like playing the thing that they're playing. If that makes sense, they like doing their thing.
What do you mean by that?
They like doing the one thing in the game that they like. They do not like the game.
Okay.
Okay. They don't really
Gotcha.
like the game as a whole, just in general. This happens with Magic all the time. This is why, like, I have a buddy who hates Name Sticker Goblin, and I can't. I don't get it. And he's just like, no, it's fucking annoying, stupid. Why even have stickers? And I'm like, that doesn't help anybody. That's got no constructive criticism whatsoever. Besides, meh. That's it. It's a crybaby little thing.
Well, in that way, though, I can understand if you have a card game, it's like introducing. Okay, now you have to. If I have a board game, if I have Monopoly, it's like then saying I can grab a piece from the kitchen utensil set and that could be on the board. Like, so there's a certain degree where I can empathize with that, but generally speaking, Magic's adding a lot of different mechanics all the time. Every new set, like I know we were just talking about the new Cowboy set, and they've got mounts now. So like, there's always a new like tagline and tag word and mechanic. So for somebody to like hate on one specifically, that's where I feel like you're right, where they're just kind of like they don't like it and they just don't want it to be there.
Yeah, it's like it could be bad, and like usually, like, and again, I say this, sometimes the variance is really great and they have a really awesome hand and they do their thing, but we're playing Legacy. This card gets stopped from so much stuff in Legacy that it's not even funny. And
Yeah.
the mana, just to let you know, does not immediately happen when they play the card. They play the card, and then if I kill the thing, they don't get the trigger.
It happens at end of turn, or
No, so like basically the trigger goes on the stack, right?
Yeah.
They go grab a sticker, right? And go like, which sticker do you want to put on it? It's like, I'm going to put this sticker on it. In response to you putting the sticker on it, I'm going to kill it.
Yeah.
Now you lost it. Now you don't have like, that is common. The Swords to Plowshare, Lightning Bolt, Dismember, Force of Will. There are many different ways to stop it. The other card that I talk about, which is Grief, it's literally if you try to stop it, you literally three for two yourself. Like that's what happens to you.
Yeah.
So you get punished in one area, even if you try to stop it. And this one, you can stop it. It's generally like fine to stop it, but
yeah. In that way, yeah. Just to kind of fully wrap it up too, it does seem like the what they expressed here is that Wizards of the Coast didn't appreciate or like the mechanic either. They're kind of acknowledging they fucked up and they want it out, either because of digital online play or physical card play, and they have enough of a reason to just pull the trigger, which I think is the asterisk, the dangerous part about this stuff, where it's like you're always at the whim of the developer of the game. And sometimes they're at the whim of player sentiment because they're looking for different goals than maybe you are.
So just to give you a heads up, not really a heads up, but like I personally do think that somebody did the more negative aspect of the stickers, as I was talking about, to a Wizards of the Coast like employee. Like, is what I think happened. Like, I literally think that
Somebody's
they were
got a big red phone and they're just like, "Hello, Mr. President of Wizards."
like, I'd probably be furious too if somebody, like, because when you get to mulligan before, like, you get to choose, do I want to keep these cards?
Yeah.
After someone says, hey, I have stickers. So, like, I think somebody got a real negative experience with that, and it set them off the deep end for this thing to get banned. And the other thing I wanted to say was Commander doesn't abide by Wizards of the Coast ban or restricted list. They don't touch Commander. There's like a Commander Council, and like, I'll look at you guys right now. Like, the time I think you guys cry is crazy to me. Like, but there's like a full council, okay? It's like Reed Richards and the Council of Reeds. Like, it's ridiculous to me. And like half of the time, like they literally talk about bans before the cards even come out.
But like, that's
Like,
wild that if Commander has its own council that adheres to their own like rules and laws and etc., that then Wizards is literally like citing Commander as a reason why they're banning this card. What, that makes no sense, but okay.
I mean, that whole article has a lot of nonsense in it, right? Like, it just like, we have no idea how to stop these cards from being played. I don't know what to do. Like, it's not like, it's kind of nonsense, right? Like, it's just nonsense. But Commander players play Type 4. If anybody who doesn't know what Type 4 is, like, yeah, I'm sure you can find some of my socials, DNA or something. I'll let you know what Type 4 is. It is the best game version of Commander that you guys never knew existed. Commander legitimately sucks. Half the time you guys sit there as bystanders, just playing, like, not even playing the game. Like, half the time, one person, two people do this. It's not. Anyway, I can talk about that crap all day.
All right, yeah. Let's wrap that part up and move on to a much lighter topic, which is the entirety of the bracket stage of MSI.
Oh my God.
We know this is short pickings, of course. This is easy compared to MTG.
Oh yeah, it's so much easier, actually. No, it's not. We had like 37 games played. And then we have more tomorrow morning, more the next day.
Right.
TLDR, if you haven't watched these games were fucking amazing. These were some of the most amazing games that I've seen in a very long time. EU surprised the shit out of me. So far, half of China's disappointing me. Okay.
Oh.
And I'll take the Chinese stance right here. It's like, we're gonna be northern China right now. Okay, guys? Like, we're the rich boys, okay? The rest of you guys disappointed me. Now, Top Esports, I did not, like, they disappointed me so bad. I don't know what happened
Let's take a look at what happened to him.
Yeah, what happened to him? What happened to him?
Well, they lost in the second round, it seems. That's what happened to him.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Do you want to talk about that game first, or we want to, like, break it, set it up, or, like...
So last week we talked about, like, we had Team Liquid and Top Esports, right? That was the game that was actually going to go. And then we gave our predictions for the rest of the matches that would actually happen, right? As predicted, right? We have Gen G that made it in order to fight Top Esports. And then we have I can never say it. Billy Gaming. Like, my dyslexia, like, really messes me up on that whole word. Versus PSG. PSG is awesome. I really enjoyed like all of their games.
We were talking about that last week, how this is a team that we want to see more of, compete more in, and it looks like they did pretty well against Billy here in the upper bracket, 3-2.
As I said, like, these are awesome games. Like, besides Top Esports blowing out Team Liquid right here, and like Gen G did blow out Fnatic, but like this game was great. The Gen G versus Fnatic game was great. It's not it was not one of those, oh my God, Fnatic's just getting dumpster fired on. Like, there was a lot of good, fun, engaging stuff going on in that game.
Yeah, I think too, I had seen an article. This was the game they were citing that North American league teams have really stepped it up.
But not North American, just like Western in general. Because like a little bit of shade on that would be like the EU is doing really phenomenally well right now. I like, well, there's a couple that like G2 is doing crazy. G2's on a tear right now. G2 is going nuts. They are doing really, really well after their first loss. Sorry, just heard something slam.
Hearing ghosts.
Yeah, I got a little ghosts or raccoons in the attic. But where was I? So like
You're talking about G2.
And for us, for North America, we weren't looking too great. We're looking a lot better after round two, like the round one lower bracket happened, but we get back into it right here. Like PSG talent these games were phenomenal against Billy Gaming, right? G2 versus T1 was super solid. T1 did look a little bit better, but it was like overall, it was like a really clean game. Like it had some wild moments just in general. The decision making again, like really held T1 through the whole entire thing. And then we can get to like round two. Gen G top esports. Like
I just want to say real quick too that T1 decision making is a thing we keep talking about every week here about when we bring up League of Legends or LCS or LCK. Like T1's ability to make those cohesive decisions and act on them is super impressive. And you're saying that made the big difference here between their win and a loss against G2.
It made a difference in every single one of their wins. Like every single time T1 has won in like the last month, it's because of their decision making just in general. And I don't know exactly why that's the case. I suspect that it's literally because like they have Faker on the team, and in that environment, like when you're next to like, if you're a boxer and you're standing next to like Mike Tyson, like there's no fucking shot you're gonna try to, hey, come here, Mike Tyson. Come here a minute. Like, no shot you're going to be like that, right? No shot. Floyd Mayweather, you're going to be like, come over here. Help me pick this up real quick. You're not going to talk to him like that. Like, so I think that there's like a whole organizational thing that I spoke on with like esports and games in general is sometimes people just need to queue up. You just need to line up. That's it. Like, you're not the boss. You got an idea? Cool, keep it to yourself. We already made a call. Don't argue about it while we're already doing it. And like that's one of the things that they excel at. As soon as someone's like, we do this, and they're like, let's go. Like, if they, like you can see it sometimes they don't communicate it, and it like the play like fizzles out. But whenever they can, like literally, if someone communicates it, they make the decision every single time. The whole player, the whole team, every single time they just do it. And so they were able to squeak it out over G2.
No, that's great to see. And that fortunately held up that first part of our predictions, but very quickly in the second bracket, we saw our predictions fall apart. It wasn't a top esports T1 upper bracket round 3. It's a Billy Gen G. So let's take a look at the lower bracket real quick. And if you can kind of walk us through those games with a little bit of precision of what happened. After the first round, Fnatic and Team Liquid come down to the lower bracket and face off against each other with a 3-1 splitting it. G2 faces PSG in a bit of a decisive win, as at least appearances here against PSG. But like that number doesn't feel like it tells the story because PSG, again, making plays, doing things, but just couldn't like take a map win, take a round win on them.
G2 is extremely strong right now. How do I put this? Like, so EU in general right now, as I said, have been playing really, really strong throughout the whole entire MSI. Their supports are really strong, just in general. Their supports are drawing out bans. And like, for those who don't know, for you, right? Bans mean, you're going to ban a champion, right? And if you're targeting the support player, which is literally like the 0.5 person, no disrespect, I play support, I like support. Like you're basically the ADC's health bar most of the time, right? they're pulling out these bans. Like they're literally getting banned out instead of like the mid laners or like not really completely, but they're absorbing early game threat without actually playing the game yet.
Yeah, they're pulling value on picks, which then allows the other players to like choose things they're more comfortable with or can be more dominant with, right?
Exactly. And like G2 has a wider champion pool than Fnatic. Fnatic is a little bit smaller, so you can kind of like ban them, and it's like what when they were doing like the post game interview that the core JJ was talking about when they were interviewed for against Fnatic. They just said, it's a little bit easier to play against them because we can ban them out more effectively and not have to worry about certain things. Whereas like Fnatic on the opposite end had to worry about probably too much. Or maybe they just worried about too much is what it seemed like. I think there was like a few bans that were fine, but other ones that I questioned that the players in the game questioned, right?
Yeah.
So
let me jump in real quick. Is this the clip that you'd sent that we wanted to talk about? Like this is the thing, a point to bring it up? Sorry, you gotta unmute yourself.
Oh. This is the clip with Shox interviewing them.
All right.
Interviewing Core JJ and Appa, right?
All right, let's bring that up while we talk about it.
Before we go, let it play. Appa is the person that we were talking about at the end of NA finals, where they were like, where he was getting like trash talked, and then he kind of just said like, yeah, and he started to open up more after like winning and get a little bit more, puff his chest out, go a little King Kong on it. And so he's been like, they lost, they won their first game at MSI playing in the brackets, right? They lost, and now we're here.
And he's talking shit to get back. That's what we're looking out for here in the clip.
Not even to get back. Like again, this is the first time. Like this is the first time that Fnatic has lost to North America at MSI.
Okay.
So, and Shox is a EU host. She's part of the EU. Oh my gosh, my brain.
Like casting crew, the talent crew.
Yes. There we go. Part of the EU talent. Yeah. So, so she's doing the interview, in which I'm sure it'll play in a second because I think this is a little bit.
Yeah. Let's go.
Shox is standing by with APA and Core JJ for the Verizon post-game interview.
I'm here with Core JJ and APA after their fantastic victory over Fnatic in the Verizon post-game interview. My God, what a victory. It was incredible to watch. APA, I'll start with you. I mean, you had an unbelievable series, and I want to know how it was in terms of your performance backed up by the mental warfare.
Well, I think we had a lot of good prep against this team. We knew, like, generally how they played. They're very heavier on the map. Like, everyone follows each other. So, like, pretty much the entire time we're just trying to, like, we call it dribble in our team, like dribble them out and then one person keeps pushing. Like if you look at our last game, that's what was happening. And then, yeah, I don't know. I was just typing down the entire series and it seems like they were getting pressed about it.
Seems like it, right? Core, in terms of that, it seemed like you had great preparation. I mean, in terms of the draft, it showed as well. Do you feel generally the drafting was difficult and the choices you had to make were straightforward, or?
I mean, we couldn't show many things versus our TS matchup, so we could play many different our original comp, and then Fnatic is not a team like we need to think about a lot of champions, so draft was easier.
I see. Now, historically, Fnatic actually always does very well, specifically into LCS teams. I think you've been a part of that as well. And an LCS team has never beaten Fnatic in a best of 5, if my information is correct. Oh. So, Core, yeah.
Not me.
Not
I
you?
think it's C9.
Yeah.
Not me.
Okay. But why do you think today was the day?
I think we were just better team. Yeah, we were just better team. Fnatic played really well. They prepared really well, but not enough.
Not enough. I feel like you want to be. You want to be like.
The disrespect.
Just that. Just straight up EU is trash.
Yeah, he's like just the EU is trash. It's from an older time of this stuff. It's kind of like the red versus blue kind of thing when it comes to like EU versus NA. It's just like suck it blue. Like EU's trash. North America is like a bunch of babies, and like, you're just a bunch of import slots. Like, it's like really how it comes out half the time. But it's what I was saying last week, right? Like the North American teams Eastern teams just in general are, something to really like think about. Like you shouldn't go into them like really disrespecting a lot of the things unless they're going to throw, it really becomes like if they're going to throw or not.
And we did kind of see like something happen in round 2. Was T1 and Top losing a throw, or was the other teams just that much better than these historically dominant teams this season? Like, it's kind of hard to think that they were that much better in that way, but was it a throw or was it just dominance?
The games themselves overall, out of all of MSI, even when they look really bad, have been closer than people think. Like, they've been like closer than people think. These teams are all good in their own right. Obviously, like these are all pro players.
Yeah,
like
they're world class.
Like, DL's trash. I could be up on that stage. Like, probably not. Like I wish.
There's going to be some guy. There's going to be some dude who's like, yeah, I can totally do that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I'll say it when we're off camera. I can be on OCS. I can do it. No, but like T1, I think it seemed like they just like lost concentration at certain points. Not really like there were some parts that were throws, but like nothing was like run down. You know what I mean? Like nobody like to give like an Overwatch thing. It wasn't trickled in, like except for Fnatic, as we just learned that their dribbling method is just people trickling in like it's Overwatch. So like. It's like really like what it is. They just treated them like Overwatch players, and they were just like on over.
It seemed like Team Liquid Honda has that as a strategy to force dribbling, force trickle.
Yeah, that's some of the things that they like to do, right? But yeah, I don't think it was really like 100% a throw from them. I think Top Esports. Top Esports is like might have been a little bit of a throw, but like these games are really close. These games are all exciting, all awesome, and like every single series is worth watching. Like I can't. I think the only one that I really didn't even like. No, I watched all of them all the way through. Like I know that I was getting like a little bit bored on the G2 PSG one after game 2. I was getting like a little bit bored with it, but
the writing was on the wall with that one.
Yeah. But it also made me like pretty excited to see like G2 versus Top Esports. Like that was a crazy set. To have them 3-0 right there was insane. As a person, I was like, I'm in the beginning of the tournament, right? I can't flip flop on this shit now. Literally in the beginning of the tournament, I was like, Top Esports, I think is going to be great. I was like, I think they're like one of the best team in the thing. I think they're going to do awesome. And then they were doing fine, and then they weren't.
Yeah. And like, I think that's the big thing to note here is our predictions are turned on its head, which ultimately makes for a much better viewing experience, a much more competitive and fun tournament overall. Let me go back into this and kind of, I think we have a rematch coming up, and I want to highlight this. Or is it? No, it's not a rematch. I thought we were going to see Top Esports versus T1, but in fact, looking forward, looking ahead, we've got Team Liquid Honda playing against T1. I believe that's happening tomorrow, or I'll bring up the schedule in just a minute, but we've got 4 more games to look forward to this coming weekend. And I really hope, and the writing seems to be on the wall, where it's going to be that continuation of high pace intensity of like very small differences to winning and to losing, and hopefully some upsets or some strong teams getting the notoriety they finally deserve for beating other strong teams. So first
matters. Like
what's that?
A lower bracket's going to matter. Upper bracket, as a person who's been watching this whole entire thing, I'm going to watch it. I don't even care who wins. I'm not even joking. Like, I do not care at all who wins.
I'm with you.
I want Gen G to win because I like Chovy as a player. I really enjoy watching Chovy play. So I want Gen G to win in that aspect, but I could care less which one of them win. The crazy thing for me is like on paper, if we were to just like use like transitive property, right? Let's see how big if Team Liquid comes out with like a 3-0 against T1. And to me, that's going to give me crazy hope for like a really crazy Atlantic battle, right? It's like the battle at the Atlantic is going to happen again. Let's go.
Well, that would be a narrative too. If Team Liquid gets their shit together and makes this lower bracket run, they have to go through T1, who we've talked about being really strong. But that'd be very reminiscent to the other tournament that we saw, where they get knocked into the lower bracket and they come all the way through and beat FlyQuest to take first place to qualify for MSI. So like there might be history repeating itself here with that narrative, which might be cool, but they've got a really thick wall to get through, and it's going to be a tough one to climb or a tough one to break through.
Yeah, 100%. And like, this is like also like the interesting thing, right? Is that like we see G2 beat Top Esports 3-0, Top Esports beat Team Liquid 3-0, right? So if we were like, just like on paper, we're like, there's no shot that G2 is not gonna just stomp Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Right. Like Top Esports was just a stronger team than Team Liquid, and they got bodied by they got bodied by G2. So like that's the crazier part, and we'll be able to see right now. Like if T1 loses, they're out. This right here, I don't think that that's going to be the case. Like, I feel for some reason, T1, every time I think that, like, oh, one more thing and you're out, right? Third strike and you're gone. And then T1 just goes, nah, dude, we're in the finals again. Glad to see you. Like, literally it happens, like, all the time.
Dude, some teams have that. Some teams have that spark where they're back against the wall. They're able to just fight tooth and nail. They understand that it's almost like the loser bracket is a resource. You know, you take the easier road, you kind of use all your HP. All you need is 1 HP to win. That's it.
Yeah. But I'll say this now, because this is what I really think is going to happen toward, like, at the end. I literally think that it's going to be Gen G versus Billy Gaming in the finals. Like,
it's going to be
I think Gen G
rematch. It's going to be a rematch of this round 3, because they're going to be coming up. Yeah. We'll take a look at the schedule again in a second, but like they're going to have this play. One of them is going to get knocked down into what, lower bracket 4? I think I keep going the wrong direction. Lower bracket 4.
They are the gate to second place. Whoever loses Gen G versus Billy Gaming is the gate to second place. But I don't even think that they're the gate. They're just like the doorman who's going to tell everybody, nah, you can just go home. Like, it doesn't matter. And like, that's really the way that nah, no party here, bro. Sorry. Like, sorry, man. Yeah, I understand it's New Year's. No party. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Gen G and Billy Gaming, I think Gen G is going to win, right? Or I'm a hopeful. I don't care, but I have a hopeful that Gen G is going to win. Billy Gaming is going to get knocked down to the lower bracket 4. Then they're literally going to body G2. And like I say body, but I think it's going to be like a 3-2 probably. I think G2 is going to put up a real spot. I don't see Team Liquid or T1 like coming into this. I think, like, personally, I think Team 1's on the downslope while, you know, Liquid's on the rise, as we can see. But you know, I don't think it's really all that, you know, brag-worthy to come out and beat like the second seed that's been like hauling ass. Like, they've been doing really, really well and everything like that, but like I don't like how Oppa comes out just like talking trash after being like I felt like he used to be such a quiet boy. and now
well, somebody challenged him. Somebody challenged his import spot, so you know.
Exactly, right? Like somebody said we could just import somebody. Jojo Kyung.
Yeah. So, they lit the fire under his ass. They awakened the inner beast in there. He went full Jinturican, whatever. I can't say Naruto terms. I'm tired. I need to get some rest. Jinchuriki. Jinchuriki. I'm focused on right now predictions. You've already kind of given your predictions, but just straight up, Nick, strong prediction. Who's taking first place? Who's taking second place?
Gen G, Billy Gaming. And I think G2 comes in third. T1 comes in fourth.
All right. You're going Gen.G, Billy, 1 and 2, and then T1 fourth, G2 third. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think lower bracket round 4 is going to be G2 versus Billy Gaming.
All right. I'm going to go on a little bit of a tear here. I think T1's going to pull some stuff. I think they're going to pull a second place win, but it kind of depends on Billy and Gen.G, of course. You're pretty high on them. The little bit that I saw, they're looking really strong. I wonder, though, if one of them, if they go into lower bracket, they're going to get boomed. They're going to feel bad, or if they're going to be able to keep the mental and push all the way through. So, like, that's my only difference. I think we'll see either Billy or Gen.G as first place, but I do feel like a T1 back against the wall is going to make some magic into second place, maybe third place.
It's either happening the way that I said it, bro, or G2 is the dark horse, and they are, because they've been playing, again, I said this, like, watch all of these G2 games. They're amazing. This is one thing that I like, if anybody's even watching this, I don't know how many people are actually going to see this, right? But I swear to God, if I hear another person who watches League of Legends and is a commentator on League of Legends, and you literally go like, why'd you go in Halo Blades Poppy? Just shut your mouth. The fucking character does so much AD damage as a tank. And like, if you haven't seen like full AD Poppy just start smushing people in the game. Anyway, so like the support on G2 went Halo Blades Poppy. Like, you need to, and like, I was watching it and I'm like, you need to respect it. It's going to kill you. You're going to die. You're going to die. And I was literally like saying, you're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to, and they're not respecting it. And then like the casters were like, what the hell? What the hell? Like, this is crazy. But Mickey's his name. Mickey's been playing out of his mind. Ansama, which I didn't think was like going to play out of his mind, has been playing out of his mind. Broken Blade's been playing out of his mind. Caps has been playing out of his mind. Like, Caps is playing on 0.3 MS, by the way. I'm not even joking. Like, this man is like connected to the router. Okay, like he's there, man. He's got no packet loss. Okay, I don't understand some of this. Like, if I was his coach, I'd be so pissed off that I wouldn't be able to reprimand him and the bullshit that he did, because it worked out. I'd be so fucking pissed. So like, you go back and you have to talk about something and you literally can't talk about anything because it's like, you know, you shouldn't have done that, but like, it worked out and it did exactly what you wanted to have happen. So I want to hit you.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a conversation. I'm sure there's conversations like, yeah, you know, you're not supposed to do that. And he's probably like, yeah, but you did it and it worked. Yeah. So, I mean, good job.
Yeah, like, good job. Don't make it a habit. Like, it's like really what it comes down to. Like, they're G2's, they're playing out of their mind, man. They're playing out of their mind. And the next game that they have is on Friday. So.
Well, yeah, I was going to say we're going to get to see them play. I think it's actually Thursday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or I'm seeing this incorrectly. But anyway, coming up next is going to be Team Liquid Honda versus T1 to kind of prove me wrong, put the foot in my mouth or not, or see if Team Liquid's got the sauce to try to repeat a narrative that they had in the last tournament. Thursday, we're going to see that top bracket, the last game in the top bracket before the finals with Billy Gaming versus Gen.G. And this is going to, I don't know, put some extra sauce onto what you're talking about with Gen.G and how well they're playing. Did they have too much time to simmer in between games, or are they going to step up and just kind of reign supreme as server admin, like you're saying? They're just connected to the matrix. They see numbers.
I'm jazzed about it, dude. I'm jazzed about Friday's game. Tomorrow, like, I know it's mean, but I could care less about these two. Like, it's mean. I'm going to watch them, and I am interested in like the outcome and how everybody plays. But as far as my enthusiasm compared to like the mystery slot versus G2, like, I am jazzed out of into outer space, man. I am so jazzed to watch that game. Like,
yeah, and there's a lot of potential even for that, like that Team Liquid and T1 game, and then whoever wins that's going to have to go through G2 first and foremost, and then go through whoever loses on Gen.G and Billy over the weekend. It's going to set up for a very interesting, very good weekend finals, semifinals, finals here. If you're not watching, you better start watching. I'm not a huge fan of League of Legends, and I know I'm going to be watching this probably on VOD. There's no way I'm getting up if this is true. 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It's played in.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Dude.
But I am not getting up for that. But I am definitely going to tune in. I'm definitely going to watch the VOD and see what goes down because this looks exciting. This looks so damn exciting.
I'm not letting
Some of the
anybody
best
spoil
narratives.
this, too.
Yeah, some of the best narratives and storylines that I've seen in League in a while. Because like I'm always aware of the things, I'm just not interested. I'm interested in this. That's how good this is.
The game sucks, but this is cool.
Hey man, different strokes for different folks. But we're pretty much at the end here. Anything you want to say about the last part here, the MSI, just to wrap up your thoughts and the predictions?
You just cut out. But it's
Sorry
probably
about that.
me.
No, it might have been the internet.
and I
But
don't have
anyway,
anything that I
can
wanna
you hear
say.
me now?
I can't hear you at all.
All right. Well, in that way, we're gonna
But it's
end.
okay.
We're gonna
I'll say
end
this last thing real quick.
Okay,
Billy,
go
hush.
for it.
I can't hear you, but I'll let you hush real quick. Thanks. Okay. No, I said this to a guy today. just so we're clear, I was playing I'm Emerald 1, right? And I was playing a game and my ADC lost his mind. And I play support and he asked me, why are you playing so-and-so champion? Blah, blah, blah. I started to get mad and I just asked him, like, why are you typing, bro? Let's just play. Let's have a good time. And he goes, I'm tilted. And I was like, that's all good, dude. Bad Daddy's here for you, bro. Let's get it. Because I play Gragas. So I was like, let's go. And then we won the game. Man, stop typing. What I'm saying, stop typing. And I still can't hear you, Billy. So you can send it on out.
Well, because I'm not talking now, I am. That's some great advice to end on. If you're typing, you ain't playing. We got to see some great plays this weekend. It's been a great week of esports. We got another great week of esports coming up. Nick's ears are broken, so I'm not going to ask him any further questions. Not going to ask him to salute and say goodbye. But on behalf of Nick and myself, thanks for joining us here at the Esports Meta. You can watch us live every Tuesday here for the podcast, or you can see other clips and happenings on our social media, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, anywhere you get your social media. That's where we're at too. Make sure you hit us a follow to let us know we're doing something right and you like the content and want to see more. But for the Esports Meta, that's it. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Oh, we're clear. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but they shouldn't be
I
able to
can
hear
hear
you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Oh, man, we can see you.